everybody, it's me, Nate, aka Devil Dog, and this is my complete walkthrough for Kugane Castle. This dungeon is unlocked after completing the main story quests and activating a NPC's mission called King of the Castle in Kugane. This dungeon drops level 300 weapons, items, and accessories, grade 5 and 6 materia, and the final boss has a chance of dropping a rare minion. First of all, I want to give a huge shout out to my friends Drakian and Ryugami for them helping me get through this dungeon. Now, when you first start out with this dungeon, you will be fighting ninjas and living armor. Nothing really out of the ordinary, but after you progress far enough, you'll come to an area where there's a bridge, and after you kill all the enemies, you think you're ready to get to the boss, but you will be ambushed by more ninjas that will jump out of the water. That's really the only thing you'll have to deal with. Burn down these ninjas, kill them real quick, and you'll be on to your first boss already. Alright, your first boss is Kuganemaru. Treat him like a Dullahan. That's pretty much what he looked like to me as a Japanese Dullahan. One of his first moves he'll actually do is Clear Out, which is a front AoE slash. He'll do that pretty much throughout the battle. Nothing really that earth-shatteringly difficult, but his main move is Kinky Release, where he'll make these ads appear on the outside of the arena that will attach a tether to you, and I think they're called Hurricane Koshos. And what they'll do is they'll rush towards you, and you want to burn them down and defeat them on the outside of the arena away from the other players, because as you see there, it has this radius blast. When it detonates, you'll want to get out of the way. The only thing is if they touch you, it will bind you in place. If you're still facing them, though, you can still attack them and defeat them. That's really the only other thing you'll have to deal with is this classic split damage AoE, which you'll see coming up very shortly right here. Naturally, when you see this, stack as usual to alleviate as much damage as possible between all the players, and that's pretty much the only mechanics you'll have to deal with this boss battle. Is he will constantly cast Clear Out, which is a frontal slash AoE, the Kinky Release, which releases the Hurricane Koshos, which if they touch you will bind you, and you'll have to lure them to the outside of the arena and defeat them and get out of the way of their blast, and the split damage AoE. The only thing is as the battle progresses, he will release more of those Hurricane Koshos along with his attacks, and it's best to try to get them as close to each other as possible on the side of the arena so everybody can safely survive the blast. Other than that, that's the only thing you have to deal with this boss, and you'll have him beat in no time flat. Alright, your second amount of trash mobs you'll have to kill are pretty standard issue ninjas. Some are larger than others, but the main thing you'll want to pay attention to is these guys named Summoners. They will cast a move called Medium, and what you want to do is burn them down and kill them as fast as possible before they can finish filling the bar and charging Medium. Because when they do, they will actually bring an enemy into the area that you'll have to fight, as you see here, one of these big giant head dudes. Now, they're not overly difficult to deal with, but they can be a pain in the butt, because after all, they are still an added enemy you'll have to fight. So the key thing with this set of trash mobs before the second boss is kill the Summoners ASAP. And right near the end before the second boss, there will be 3 of these guys. So make sure, preferably if you could place like a marker over them so everybody knows which one to attack all at the same time. You should be able to kill 1 or 2 of them before they actually cast their little, their little head buddies to show up to fight you. Even if they don't get killed in time, it's still not going to be anything earth-shatteringly difficult to actually kill all these guys and move on to the second boss. Alright, your second boss battle is against Kuganemaru. This guy doesn't really have too many attacks. He does have some frontal blast AoE attacks and some normal move sets. But his main move that he does is Clockwork Medium, as you'll see it coming up here in a second. And what that does is make ads appear on the outside of the arena, and they will randomly flip over the floor tiles. Meanwhile, while these floor tiles are flipping, he will randomly place a lightning AoE around certain players, and you'll want to space them away from the other players, preferably not having them overlap, while avoiding the floor tiles that flip. If you do not do that, you will take a good amount of damage. Now, as the battle progresses, he will also have these ads show up, these other ninja guys, that will normally shoot out line AoE attacks as well. As you see right here, they are. What you want to do is burn them down as fast as possible, because if you take too long before you defeat them, they will explode and do heavy damage. Other than that, the only thing you have to pay attention to in this battle is as the battle progresses and his life gets a little bit lower, when those ads on the outside that show up to to flip the floor tiles, they will also start shooting out line of AoE attack as well. So you'll have to deal with him doing a clockwork medium move, that way to watch out for the floor tiles that flip. Also, while placing yourself in an area to where you're not overlapping anyone else with the lightning AoE, also paying attention for the adds that show up to burn them down as fast as possible, and avoiding all the line AoEs from his adds, from him, and from his little ninja buddies. Other than that, that's really the only things you'll have to deal with this boss. He is not that hard at all. You should have no problems in beating him. Alright, your third set of mobs that you'll have to deal with before you get to the final part of this dungeon really isn't nothing that difficult. Normal mobs, but as you progress through here, you will deal with these guys called Harikaris, I think they're called. And when you get their life down rather low, they will explode and have a rather large AoE like you've seen right there. Just make sure you pay attention to those guys right before they explode and get out of the way of their AoE, burn down the rest of these guys, and you'll be on to the third and final boss of this dungeon. Alright, it's time for your third and final boss battle of this dungeon. No, it's not this bald guy. It's a dude that he hired to kill you. A fan favorite, Yojimbo and his buddy Diagoro. Yep, that's right. And don't worry, he's not as difficult as you would expect. In fact, I was kind of disappointed in this boss battle. Still a fun boss battle nonetheless, but not that difficult. He does have multiple different moves, including Lie Girl, which is a AoE at his feet, and some other ones that are like room-wide AoEs and some room-wide blasts. But the main thing is after you progress into the battle far enough, the guy will pretty much say that if you want me to kill these guys, you got to pay me money. And he'll go to the back screen of the arena there and just stay there. And this is a weird part of the battle. The bald-headed guy will throw gold out onto the arena, and what you want to do is pick up the piles of gold as fast as you possibly can before his buddy Diagoro jumps around and picks it up. For every pile of gold that Diagoro gets to, the funds meter in the middle of the screen will go up higher, and his move that he's charging up, Zenmoto, will be much more deadly. Just keep in mind that when Diagoro is bouncing around, if he touches you when you're trying to pick up gold, it will create a knockback effect to you and also a little bit of damage. Other than that, that's really the only thing you have to deal with that first part of the battle. Now, as the battle progresses a little bit farther along, he'll start having these little blue butterflies that'll appear throughout the arena. And wherever they land is basically where a big AoE is about to go. Now, this is also with him doing all of his other moves, like the room-wide AoE you just seen and some other ones. But as you see, he'll start releasing these little butterflies that wherever they go will be a large AoE. Just pay attention where they go, generally get out of the way, and the first one will be on the inside set, and then the other ones will be on the outside set. It's kind of tricky, but you want to go to the outside arena and then back to the inside after those butterflies dissipate. Now, right after that, getting close to the 50% mark, he'll go and do that gold move again. The only difference is now he'll add these dragon heads to the outside of the arena that will shoot line AoEs at you while you're also trying to pick up the gold before that Diagoro can pick it up as well. So you'll have to burn down and kill the dragon heads as fast as possible while avoiding their AoEs, while picking up the piles of gold to keep Diagoro from collecting them. Other than that, that's pretty much really the only problem you'll have to deal with. Is watch out for his Lie Girl attack and his other attacks, the room-wide AoEs. Watch out for those butterflies because they will create large AoEs you'll have to dodge. And this main mechanic is this money move, where the guy will throw piles of gold that you'll have to collect before his buddy Diagoro can collect them to keep his Zenmoto move from being pretty much a one-shot kill. Other than that, that's really the only thing you have to deal with this boss battle. And like I said, it's kind of a disappointing battle, but in the end, there's some nice little things that happen that leads it open to where you know that Yojimbo will be coming back. This was Nate, aka Double Dog, and I want to say thank you for everyone that subscribes to my channel. I want to say thank you to everyone who watches this video. Please leave a comment below if you thought that this was helpful in any way. If you thought my dungeon walkthrough series for Stormblood was helpful in any way whatsoever, please leave a comment below. Leave a like. It's always nice if people leave likes. And subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I always got to end my videos by saying, have fun, play hard, and remember, people, the devil is in the details. Peace out.